welcome to What I Get Myself Into, Part 6. At this point, we are starting 10th grade, and we are going through volleyball tryouts again. So, the grueling process of I think they shortened it this time to 2.5 days, but it was still 3 sessions, so it was morning and evenings. So we go through that, and after she did not make it the previous year, really all bets were off. One of the major factors and differences for this year is we had an entirely new head coach, and we were really excited about that because it was really going to bring some fresh eyes to what was happening in our season this year. So lo and behold, my daughter goes to tryouts and she actually makes the team. She crushes it, which we were both extremely excited about because all our hard work that we put in to come back stronger and not give up paid off. She came back. She had a really great coach, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the difference in her position, what she was doing, and how she was doing. So at this point, my daughter is a junior. She is a younger junior, so she will be graduating with 17. But she did make the JV team, which is the one that we were originally hoping for, and I'll explain why. She played libero, and her libero position was left back. Some clubs will play it left back, some will play it middle back. The school that she was trying out for plays their libero middle back. So my daughter knew that her club played left back, so she initially only went to tryouts for the DS role because the DS role would play left back. So she wanted to remain in her role so that she can continue to capitalize on that training. The reason why we wanted JV over varsity is, if you know anything about varsity, 9 times out of 10 varsity is stacked. Yes, you are playing more competitive teams, but with her not making the team the year prior, the coach has already had eyes on a certain amount of girls that we already knew were going to be starters. We already knew they were going to be the ones on the court, and my daughter would bench right the entire season. So JV is where we wanted to go. We ultimately, she made the JV team, which we got really excited about, and she got the position she wanted, which was DS, which would allow her to continue to play that left back position. Now, she did end up being a starter for the team, which we could not have planned that better. So it actually worked out amazingly, and she really gained some good experience. We went through her junior year in JV, and the season really couldn't have went better. I mean, she had an amazing coach. The team was pretty good. They won most of their games, and they really worked together very well, cohesively as a team. So there's not much to say about that JV season. We really appreciated the court time that she had because it allowed her to continue to get the different training from different coaches and get those reps and that court time in. One thing that I am going to say, one of the biggest things that we noticed that in our club team and in our high school, the hitters, although they're great, they were not hitting at a level that we competed against at our showcases, or hitting at a level that some of these teams that we went against hit at. And that's going to be important for the training, because one thing that we noticed is when we were at the showcase, there were a lot of girls that were picking up these hits with no effort. And the correlation to that is they're training with hitters that hit straight down. If your child is in a DS libero position, keep in mind that the quality of hitters that you're training with is going to matter. It's going to matter on how many reps your child's getting with these hits and how comfortable she's going to be in picking those up. So we've had to do some serious evaluating on what we're going to need to do to make up that difference and get that training that she needs. I think it's important to note for your child and for your sanity that the training doesn't stop after they leave practice. I mean, there's so much mental training. There's a lot of home training that needs to be done, and we try to set aside maybe an hour or 2 hours a week to go and just do some home training and just work on some of those skills that she needs to work on a little bit more. I mean, they're all going to have their weak points. So working on those. We also spend time rewatching the film, which is important from the game film, because when you're in a team, you're not just working for yourself, but you're working for others. So understanding where those holes are and what slack you need to pick up for your team to be successful. So there are certain areas that may not necessarily be my daughter's role or position, but we watch that film to understand what this other player may struggle with, so that we can come in and compensate for those, because that's ultimately what being a good team player is all about, is helping complement each other so that as a team you can work together better. So that is one of the things that we've been working on. Now, if you're thinking home drills, where do I start? I was right there with you guys. Amazon has some great tools to use. There's a half pop-up net that is super inexpensive. It's easy. You don't have to dig it into the ground or anything. You can literally take it anywhere. It's a travel net. And then little trampolines help, like the miniature, the kitty ones. You can use those to spike a ball at. We also got little bins from the Dollar Tree to signify our positions, and we used the resources that we had to us as far as Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, where all the great coaches are on there showing you drills, teaching you drills, and helping you run those. So you have tons of resources. We just got a couple balls and we were just in the backyard practicing whatever those skills are that she's needing at that time. There's so much gear that you can use in home training for, and I always recommend, if you are wanting to improve, don't let it stop in school training. Don't let it stop with club training, because they train as a whole, but they're not really giving you maybe the reps that you need to really get the skill down. So I highly recommend always home training, always. All right, so to wrap this up, the last thing I'm going to say is one of the things that I found most valuable to me as a volleyball mom is to learn the game of volleyball. I mean, understanding the expectations, the rules, and most importantly, whose ball that was. Because how many times do we get upset when a ball drops as somebody on the sideline? This is something I want to kind of go over briefly in my next part. Please keep in mind that I am not a coach. I am not someone who has ever played volleyball. So I'm going to do my best to kind of explain what I understand of the game and to hopefully help guide you guys, because a lot of times the other parents will look at me like, whose ball was that? And because I try to do so much research, learn and pay attention to what the coaches are saying, I do feel like I have a good grasp on how the flow is supposed to go on the court and who's supposed to be covering what. Now, that's not always going to be realistic, but everybody is supposed to have a job on the court. So I would like to go over those with you guys and just kind of pass on my knowledge to those with the positions. And if you are interested, just tune in to my next one. Thank you.